Hello, back again. Today we're not going to be doing so much of an unboxing and review as we're going to be doing like a tips and tricks type video, or as some people like to call it, a hack. Alright, so as you've read from the title of this video, we're going to be essentially converting a pair of wired earphones or earbuds to a pair of Bluetooth earbuds or headphones. Now, I can already tell what you're probably already starting to type in the comments. Oh, that's super easy. Everyone knows how to do that. You go to Amazon or eBay and you get this little $10 doodad and you connect it to your whatever, and then boom, it's Bluetooth. And you're probably talking something like this. Okay, so this one here is a transmitter. You can tell that by the male 3.5 millimeter plug. And yes, you can also get the receiver, of course. So, and there you go. Now, that definitely works, but what I was hoping to do in this video is give you some extra things you can do to make that listening experience even better. Alright, so let's start with this. Out of the couple things we're going to cover, this will be like number one here. Number one, this is just a transmitter. But why have to get a transmitter and a receiver when you can get something like this? So, let me zoom in here real quick. Alright, that's better. So, yep, as you can see, this is both an audio receiver and transmitter all in one device, so it's a 2-in-1. And of course, the two ports up top are what determine what one of these two it is. Now, you might think, well, I was only going to use it as a receiver or a transmitter, but for essentially the same price and the same size and weight, why not have the option to do either way? And what I mean by either way, they were kind enough to have an illustration on the back here to just really drive it home. So you can see there in receive mode, you use it to transmit from your phone into your quality home audio there. Of course, now it being wireless. Or you can go the other way and do it this way, where you have it connected to your source and then transmits to a pair of Bluetooth already, Bluetooth ear headset, it looks like. So, yeah, double the options for the same size and same cost. Why not? Of course, that's a simple one. Now, let's move on. Alright, so for the rest of this video, we're just going to go with the assumption that you're using this as a receiver. Alright? And the device, or the source device, where the music's coming out of, is Bluetooth equipped from the factory, such as my smartphone here. Alright. Now, let's talk about this smartphone. And in this case, it could also be your PC or maybe your MP3 player or whatever. Alright. Now, most likely any of those devices I've mentioned are going to have a hardware built into them so that when you actually plug in a pair of earbuds, like literally plug into it, you're going to get the advantage of most likely an amplifier, which is built into the device. And if it's like the device I'm holding here, this LG V20, it has a quad DAC in it. Now, if you're not familiar with what a DAC is, DAC, go ahead and look it up. It's a really good read, and it'll explain all the technical stuff about why it makes such richer sound quality and all that. But for right now, just know it's hardware that makes it sound awesome, okay? Alright, so that's all built into here. But remember, you got to be wired in to take advantage of that. Now, when you aren't wired, but now you go Bluetooth, okay, so we're going to pretend this guy's a receiver for right now, alright? So the signal is being transmitted over to here, and this is connected to your speakers or your headset or whatever. You're going to get the information, because that's being transmitted wirelessly to this, and this will put out the song or the information or the file, and you'll recognize it. Oh, that's my favorite song or whatever. But it's not going to sound the same. And the reason why is, remember all that cool hardware that was in here? Well, it's not on this end. Now you're just getting, it's like playing a game of telephone. You might get the same message, but it's not the same voice. Alright. So if you look at this device, or whatever one you have that's similar to it, the majority of it's just going to be, battery is going to be used just to keep this thing running. So that's the whole decoding the incoming signal. How much of that do you think is really dedicated to actually putting out great sound quality? Probably not. So we need to do something about that. Well, we can't go here, rip open the phone, and put all those parts in this, right? That's not going to work. But what we can do is we can get something like this. So I'm going to open this up right now, and we'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, open it up. Oh yeah. Okay, so here we have the hi-fi headphone amplifier, the XU09, and there's definitely some heft to this, although it's still light enough that you could put it in a pocket, so it's still portable. Alright, and then we have an included, it looks like USB to micro USB cable to power this up. This has an integrated battery, and we also get an included male 3.5 to male 3.5 millimeter cable, and it looks, not only does it look fancy, it might even be gold plated if I can see through this plastic, but one of those plugs is also a right angle plug to keep a nice low profile up across the top of this device here. So, and we also get it feels like a physical rotating knob for probably power, but most likely volume as well. So I'll be using that as my final adjustment for volume before the signal actually gets to my ears. Alright, so, okay, now that we've seen all the components here, let's just kind of do a quick review, air diagram style, to figure out how this is all supposed to work here. So, from our device, the really cool music sound, whatever, is going to be transmitted through the air using a Bluetooth signal. That Bluetooth signal is going to be received by this guy, decoded. That signal then is going to leave our receiver and go into this amplifier, at which point that sound will then be made a lot more deep and rich and all that good stuff, and that signal will leave the amplifier and go into the headphones, which now hopefully have enough oomph to go ahead and drive these big drivers in here and give me that sound quality that I am looking for. And I'm pretty sure with all that we should get a lot better result than if we were trying to use something like these being powered from a little receiver that's dinky like this. So that's the thought behind it. Alright, so I got everything charged up and paired up. I should tell you the directions for that came with this are actually written, or translated, should I say, quite well compared to a lot of things I get. So if you just read the directions, you should have no problem. Alright, now you can already see I got a solid blue ring here, which means it's already been paired with my phone over there. I've also connected, and I'm using the iHome earbuds here, the metal ones, and the reason I'm using these as opposed to the Razer headset is because I can actually put these buds right up to the microphones on my camera, so hopefully you'll be able to hear at least somewhat what it sounds like. Of course, keep in mind what you hear is going to be limited to what the camera microphones can pick up, but hopefully there'll be enough of a difference so this test actually proves something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you can see right now that I do not have the amp connected. We're just going straight out of this, the receiver, and we're going to start with that as like our baseline. All right. So, okay, put that down there. I'm going to go ahead and start the music here. Let me just pull this up. Okay, and all right, here we go. Make sure I get these on the right side for you. All right, here we go. Okay, so hopefully that was enough to give you an idea. Alright, so as far as the volume goes, I went ahead and set it to about 25% on my source, or in this case the phone. So I had it originally a little higher, but it seems that because there are no volume controls on this here, on the receiver, so my guess is that they have it set coming out here is pretty loud, so I would recommend turning your volume down a little bit. Although if you like it loud, well, you'll do what you're going to do. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get the amp in this and see how that makes it different. Alright, so as you can see, I now have the amp as part of the chain, and I'm about ready to hit the play button. Alright, so now that we've had the chance to hear the improvement while using the earbuds, the real test will be, can it work with a headset such as this? And if it works at all, will adding the amp over there make a significant difference in the music or sound audio quality? Alright, so now because of the logistics, I won't be able to give you a sound sample like I did with the earbuds, and that's just because if you look at the size of these cups, both these cups together are bigger than the camera I'm recording this on, and if I try to hold these up to where the microphones on the camera are, so much of the sound will leak right around because, well, as you imagine, the microphones aren't the size or positioned like human ears, and hence there will be no seal made. Alright, so with all that said, you're just going to have to trust from my experience, and I'm willing to convey that right now to you. So here we go. So to start off with, I had this set to receiver mode and connected directly to the headset here, this exact headset. So, in other words, no amp at this time. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled a game on my tablet, Monster Shooter 2, if you're curious, and that actually ended up being a really good choice for a sample, and I'll tell you why in a sec. Anyway, so I had this all connected, started up the game, watched the intro, and played one of the levels. Alright. And, well, the sound quality was actually way better than I expected. Now, I'm not sure if it's because, well, I'm going to guess it's because of the quality of this headset that it was able to reproduce pretty good sound even when using a, rather small power supply such as this little guy here. Alright, but it was pretty good. So, but to be thorough, we had to test the other, of course, with the amp. Why not, right? So I hooked everything up just like you saw with the earbuds. So all three of these things now are hooked up. And I went ahead and watched the intro again and played that exact same level again. And wow, yes, that definitely helps. So as where the sound quality was good before, now it was full. And why Monster Shooter 2 was such a good test game is because, well, there's a lot of explosions, there's a lot of sci-fi noises, and, well, let's just put it this way, once the dubstep kicks in, alright, you really get to see what that amp can do, and of course what these do in combination. So all three of these things combined, and if you're using a headset such as this or something better maybe, you're really going to be happy that you have all these components together. Alright, now, let's go ahead and I want to talk about, so first this here, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi together. So I originally wasn't even going to use the tablet for the whole gaming test. I was just going to use my computer. Makes sense, right? Well, that didn't go so well. And the reason why is because when I tried to use, as you know, all games now, you need an internet connection. That's a topic for a whole nother video. But anyway, so I had to be on the internet, hence the Wi-Fi had to be working. And I tried to use this, which is, of course, Bluetooth. Those two do not get along. On that one device, on my computer, maybe yours will be similar, if this was on, I didn't get Wi-Fi. And I didn't know what was going on, but as soon as I turned this off, all of a sudden the Wi-Fi worked again. So there seems to be an interference. Now that might be, like I said, only to my computer or the modem or the Wi-Fi card or whatever, but it may be on your computer as well. Maybe you have similar equipment. So, alright. However, now, of course, I just talked about playing the game on my tablet, and that worked fine. So, of course, I have the tablet. It's also running on Wi-Fi, and I had obviously, as we already talked about, everything was working fine with the audio. So, just be aware of that. Alright, and what's the other thing I wanted to mention? Oh, let's talk about the weight. Now, because if you're going to be using this with a headset, you may just be sitting at your desk at home or on the couch playing games or whatever, watching a movie. However, you might want to take this on the road. And there might be those who say, oh, look at all this stuff, and I don't even have the wires here, right? So there's even more bulk. You're going to say that's just not really practical for being on the go. I would argue against that and tell you that it can be used on the go. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to probably want to put these somehow together. Now, no, I'm not talking about duct taping them together or anything ridiculous like that, but I did have this laying around, so this is just a little pouch that came with one of my many little gadgets. I think it was a USB hand warmer. Anyway, and it just so happens that, well, as you guessed, this just fits in there just great. So I put that in there, and I can also get this in there, so I'll just slide this in the front. Doesn't even scratch, and there you go. So yeah, you'll have your wires coming in the top here, but, and, I mean, if you really want to, you could even put a belt loop on this and put there in, yeah. Now you're thinking, okay, that's great, you know, nice little pocket, but how much does it weigh? Well, everything you see here together weighs 0.3, so that's 0.3 pounds. And in case you don't know what that quite would feel like, this little travel, well, normal size Axe body spray can aerosol, this is 0.4 pounds. So this is even lighter than one of these. So yeah, it's easily carryable. Alright, so in conclusion, I'd recommend doing this little tip and trick, especially if you have a pair of quality headphones at home that you might have sidelined for a while because, well, hey, they weren't Bluetooth when I got them and now I really want a Bluetooth headset. Well, abracadabra, now they are Bluetooth. And they are probably actually even better sounding than had they come Bluetooth out of the box. I don't know many headphones that have this much stuff built into the side of them, okay? No. So you're going to get more control and most likely better sound quality going this route. And yeah, and also let's talk about cost. Doing this actually might even be less expensive than the markup that would be on a pair of headphones like this with the included Bluetooth. So that premium for the Bluetooth feature, yeah, might end up ringing up higher than this. Now keep in mind that, you know, you can get a better quality one of the amp. You can also get obviously a better quality 2-in-1 receiver transmitter, but you don't even need to go up that high. These didn't cost that much at all, and I was really impressed with the sound quality. So yeah, 2 extra little things in your pocket can make the big difference, and yeah, I'm sure your ears will appreciate the upgrade.